If you've ever felt like the most self-aware person in the room and still can't stop destroying everything good in your life, this video is not a coincidence. You didn't find it. It found you. And what you're about to hear will not comfort you. It will not motivate you. It will not give you a 5-step morning routine. It will show you the part of yourself you've been running from your entire life. And why? No matter how fast you run, it always catches up. Everything the self-help industry sold you was designed to keep you comfortable, not healed. Comfortable. The affirmations, the vision boards, the gratitude journals, all of it. A sophisticated system for avoiding the one conversation that would actually change your life. Carl Jung saw this coming 100 years ago. He spent his entire career studying the part of the human mind that modern psychology is still too afraid to touch. He called it the shadow, and what he found inside it will explain everything. The relationships that keep ending the same way. The opportunities you burned right before they became yours. The version of yourself you keep swearing you finally left behind. It always comes back. That is not bad luck. That is not your circumstances. That is your shadow, and it has been running your life since you were a child. Before we go further, Jung wrote one sentence late in his life. One sentence. It has ended therapy sessions mid-conversation. Grown men, mid-sentence, gone completely silent. I will give you that sentence at the end of this video. And if you are honest with yourself, you will feel it land somewhere deep. Stay for that. Here are the 5 signs your shadow is in control. By sign 3, you will already recognize yourself. By sign 5, you will finally understand why you are the way you are. The shadow is not evil. Jung was precise about this. It is not your dark side in a comic book sense. It is everything you were told not to be. Think back to your childhood. The anger that wasn't allowed at the dinner table, you didn't delete it, you buried it. The ambition your teachers called arrogance, buried. The sadness that made your parents uncomfortable, buried. You did not destroy those parts of yourself. You built a mass grave inside your own mind. And here is what no one tells you. What you bury does not die. It waits, it ferments, it develops a will of its own. A 2019 study from the University of Zurich found that people who chronically suppress emotional traits show significantly elevated cortisol, the primary stress hormone, for up to 48 hours after a single triggering event. Not minutes, hours. Nearly 2 full days of your nervous system paying the price for one buried feeling. Your body keeps score. It always has. Jung wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Read that slowly. It will direct your life, and you will call it fate. That argument you didn't start, but somehow always end up in. That person you were drawn to, even when every rational part of you said no. That opportunity you sabotaged the moment it became real. You didn't choose any of that. Your shadow did. Sign 1 of 5. The person who irritates you most is showing you something about yourself. Think about someone whose behavior triggers a rage that feels almost irrational. The colleague who never stops making everything about themselves. The stranger online whose confidence gives you a sudden sharp spike of something that feels like anger, but sits deeper than that. Jung called this projection. His principle was precise. You cannot see in others what does not exist somewhere inside yourself. The traits that repel you most, the arrogance, the neediness, the hunger for attention, those are the traits you have locked in your own shadow. Not because you are those things, but because those things were in you, and you were told they were unacceptable. You are forced to exile them to survive your upbringing. Now, when you see someone else living freely in those same traits, your exiled self screams. It is not them you hate. It is the reflection. And the most dangerous projection of all doesn't happen with strangers. It happens with the people you choose to love. We'll come back to that. But first, sign 2. Sign 2 of 5. You destroy things right before they become real. The relationship that was finally getting serious, and you picked a fight from nowhere. The project that was 90% finished, and you went completely cold. The promotion within reach, and you missed the deadline without understanding why. Your conscious mind wants the success. Your shadow remembers something older and darker. Maybe as a child, your success made a parent uncomfortable. Maybe your joy was met with, "Don't get your hopes up." Maybe being seen meant being criticized. Maybe being happy meant something was about to be taken away. To your shadow, visibility is danger. Achievement is exposure. So it protects you the only way it knows how. It burns the bridge before you can cross it. You call it self-sabotage. You call it burnout. You call it bad timing. Jung calls it the shadow's survival instinct, and it will keep firing until you go back to the original wound. Sign 3 of 5. This is the one that empaths will not want to hear. Are you consistently drawn to people who are broken? Do you absorb the emotions of everyone in the room until you feel completely hollow? You tell yourself it's because you're sensitive, because you care more than most people. Jung would tell you it is a sophisticated form of avoidance. By focusing entirely on the chaos of others, your shadow successfully keeps you distracted from the chaos within. You choose partners who are projects so that you are never the one under the microscope. Your empathy becomes armor. Your helping becomes control. Research published in the Journal of Personality showed that individuals with unresolved childhood trauma are 3 times more likely to enter caretaking roles in adult relationships. Not from strength, from a compulsive, subconscious need for emotional safety. You are not rescuing them to save them. You are rescuing them so they never leave. So you always feel needed. So the spotlight never turns to you. If that felt like a gut punch, good. That's your shadow reaching the surface. Sign 4 of 5. This one lands hardest on the highest achievers. You have the results. You have the recognition. By every external measure, you have made it. And you feel like a fraud. Not occasionally. Constantly. Like one wrong move will reveal what you actually are beneath all of it. Jung explained this with a concept he called the persona, the mask you constructed to survive the world's expectations. And when your entire life is built around the persona, the shadow whispers continuously underneath it, the version of you they love is not real. This is why the most successful people collapse into addiction, depression, and complete breakdown at the height of their careers. They are not weak. They are exhausted from the weight of a mask they have worn so long they have forgotten what is underneath. The only way to kill the imposter is to invite the shadow to the table, to say out loud, "I am also angry. I am also afraid. I am also capable of pettiness and envy and need." The moment there is nothing left to hide, the imposter has nowhere to live. Sign 5, the most dangerous one. You keep choosing the same person, different face, different name, different city, even. Same dynamic, same arguments, same ending. Jung believed we are magnetically drawn to partners who carry our unlived shadow traits. The person who is everything you were never permitted to be, free, bold, emotionally untamed, you don't merely love them, you are consumed by them. Because they are living in the open what you have kept buried your entire life. And until you integrate those exiled parts of yourself, you will keep casting the same role in every relationship you enter. Different actor, identical story, every single time. Now, the sentence I promised you. Jung wrote this at the end of his life. After decades of studying the unconscious, after confronting his own shadow in a process he called the confrontation with the unconscious, he wrote, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." Most people spend their entire lives running toward the light, journaling, affirming, visualizing, optimizing, and they cannot understand why the same darkness follows them home every single night. It follows you because you cannot outrun what lives inside your own skin. Integration is not about becoming darker. It is not about unleashing what you buried. It is about becoming whole. Look at the buried anger and ask, what was this protecting? Look at the buried ambition and ask, what was this afraid of? Look at the buried grief, and for the first time, let it be seen. Your shadow is not your enemy. The version of you that refuses to look at it is. By the end of this, if you are honest, you already know which sign hit you. You felt it, somewhere around sign 2 or sign 4. That quiet recognition you couldn't argue your way out of. You don't have to do anything with it yet. Awareness is the beginning, not the end. Just let it be seen. That is where it starts. If this shifted something, the next video goes further. We're going into individuation, Jung's most misunderstood concept. Why the people who go silent, who withdraw, cut contact, stop performing for the world, are often the ones closest to becoming who they were always meant to be. It is not isolation, it is transformation. And if you have ever felt that pull, that video is already waiting for you.